The guys are here. Like, Back in Time guys, we can go down. They probably have it.
Do they have a booth down there?
Oh, yeah, no, because there's a whole documentary coming out called Back in Time where they, like, talk to everyone who made the film.
Yeah.
Roll. You guys want to start with the first question?
Yeah, no casual talk here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, season 2.
Yes.
What were the feelings going into this season? Because you guys definitely have different sort of storylines that kind of converge at the end of the season. What was like? Talk to me about how you like went through thinking about your characters and like how you think like you've grown from since like season 1. Because you guys are definitely like wife and kid are gone, and you kind of have to go through, hunting these things on your own. I mean, you meet up with other people, but you're on your own. You're kind of like this, like justice person, like man of the law.
Yeah.
And then
Normal one? Pseudo normal? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your question?
So I just want talk to me about.
I like his name.
I know. I just
good.
Keep going.
That was good.
But no, just talk to me about like what you felt about playing your character this season compared to last season.
Go ahead.
Both? Yeah.
I think we cut him in half. I mean, Seth in the first season was very well defined. He was the mouthpiece of this unit. He was the guy that has everything in control. He was the mouthpiece. He was the confident, cocksure, bravado, P.T. Barnum of this crime bureau or whatever. And in the second season, we ripped the only thing he had, his brother's half of him, they're codependent. And when that gets ripped away from him, we wanted to see, what does this guy look like when he's broken? This confident guy that's always in charge, what does he look like when he's given up? So we went deep, he completely gave up. And real deep. And it was great, because it was always by design and the goal to get to this point in the second season where we can do things like that. Where Jesse's had the luxury of from jump being an original character, and we had to
Having a clean slate.
We had to get these guys past what everybody already knew to kind of explore new ground. So it was really satisfying to do that.
What was the question? What did I think about food? What my favorite food is? Sushi.
Oh, I like sushi too.
What I think about the character this season? Compared to last season, I think he's discovered this whole new world that he didn't know existed and that he's destined to be a part of. That he doesn't. I don't think he necessarily wants to be a part of, because one is ruining his family, and two, it's like scary as shit.
I feel the same way,
right?
That's literally how I feel.
Yeah.
This is just like branch off and get rid of all these fools.
Spin-off.
Season 3.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. That's probably it right there. But I'm as an actor, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I get to kick a lot of ass this year. I get some cool like little mini dialogue things. I get like 1 or 2 lines an episode. A couple lines in there. A couple words coming out of your face. Yeah, a couple words coming out of my face. But it's a lot of fun. I think he's evolved a lot from last year from season 1 to season 2. Completely. Like he's like
out of your innocence.
Yeah, innocence is gone. And I think it's affected his family. Obviously because his family's taken off and he has to deal with this world until his family comes back, and who knows when that's going to be. So that's going to be a huge storyline in itself for seasons to come.
My question is, what has been one of the most difficult scenes to record to film for you guys that you guys had to train?
We had a love scene.
It's like halfway through episode 9.
He's like stretching like.
Well, I had to. It's pretty aggressive.
I do a lot of yoga.
Share away.
It was intense but romantic.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we're gonna stop. We're in a lot of trouble. We're just gonna snipe a soundbite.
Yeah,
No, I would never.
I mean, look, one of the greatest things about getting to work at Troublemaker and with Robert is the fact that they champion old school action, old school practical effects. You know, the classics. We try to keep those alive. So what that means is it looks cool, but what it also means is it fucking hurts. So when we get to work, you know, one day we're racing cars and blowing them up. The next day we're having crazy
thrown across a room,
and we're having crazy fist fights. So, I mean, there's a lot to choose from. I don't know what to.
I've twisted ankles, I've like jammed fingers, and like you get banged up. You know, like you're actually kind of hitting each other sometimes, and jumping off of things and getting thrown around. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't think it's anything that's particularly, you know, grueling or difficult. It's just it can be what's a good word for it? Like physical.
Yeah, and I think it's also good that like everybody's down.
Special techniques?
Everybody in our cast is like special
Special techniques that you guys use?
Icy hot. Aspirin. Hug afterwards. Yeah. But we, you know, everybody in the cast is really proud of the job and thankful for it and wants it to be the best they can. So we're all down.
I think a lot of the special techniques too are the crew that we have. Our stunts team is amazing. And then the special effects team and the makeup and the hair, like they all make us look good. I mean, we would definitely not look as cool as we are if it weren't for the rest of the team.
DJ, what is it like mirroring George Clooney, but at the same time making the character your own?
Well, there's no thought of mirroring anyone, to be honest with you, at all. I mean, the character is the same character that he played, so obviously, by definition, there's going to be a lot of similarities. It was written as such, so it's impossible to avoid certain moments and cadences that, you know, are in the job description. And I think, you know, whatever Robert saw in his original casting and whatever I was lucky enough to get cast for that he saw in me in this one, you know, that's up to him. He saw some quality that works for him for this character that he brought to life. So I'm just very happy to get to do it. And to be honest with you, man, it just kind of happens organically. Like honestly, like Zane and I, and all of us that are doing characters that had already existed, we had no preconceived notion about trying to do it similarly or trying to run really far away from it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the words on the page, the descriptions of the characters, and we go to work with Robert and we spitball our ideas and we just shoot it, you know, and then he takes the material and he makes it look how he wants it to look, and yeah, there's tons of similarities, but you know, a lot of them are by design. So, and also I think, like, look, man, anytime you shoot anything where it's an iconic property and people are passionate about the characters, it's gonna be hard to not do that comparison. I mean, trust me, I do that too. I do that with other projects I love. I do it with this one, just as a fan. But you know,
if you think about it too, like if DJ were to go way to the other direction of trying to stay as far away from Clooney as possible purposely, the fans, you're not going to please everybody at any point. The fans would kind of go, oh, fucking Clooney would never do that. You know what I mean? Like that's like so far away from the original character. Yeah. He's doing the work honestly as instinctually as he can, and it's like
almost like a continuation.
Yeah, I mean, these are as an audience member, you're saying these terms, these preconceived notions, but when you're watching it for the first time, you're thinking that because you've already seen the first one. But I promise you, like when we go to work, when we all go to work and shoot it, it's the furthest thing from our mind. The only time it comes up is in moments like this when we look back, because then you can make that comparison. But on the day, it's we get 10 pages thrown in front of us, and we get the costume, and we get the relationships, and we get that heightened tone of the world that we're creating, and we just do the best we can. I I talk the way I talk. I act the way I act. And my instincts are the way they are. And if it's coming across in a similar way, then I champion that because that's the project we're doing. And
maybe Clooney's been imitating you the whole time.
With a time machine?
Yeah.
Not in the bank account. Everywhere else, maybe.
Speaking of iconic properties, if Robert ever decided... So if Robert ever decided to bring back another movie into a TV series, which one would you like him to do, and what character would you like to play?
Oh, me?
Both of you. Well, you can start.
I'd like to see him. I think Sin City, man. Like, could you imagine, like,
come on,
Frank, who was just in here. If you could have such a cool, stylized noir like that, like the way Robert and Frank never did, that would be. I would watch endless episodes of that. The same way he drew the original comic. Who I would want to play? Anybody they would let me. Anybody.
I'll play the Jessica Alba character.
That was nice.
Sorry, this is a little bit of a big one, and I'll try to ask it as quickly as I can. There's sort of a common thread between Freddie and Seth in season 2, and that is that they both spend time with Kate, who is sort of like this very much like a metaphor for like both femininity and like innocence in a lot of ways, the both of them. And they sort of treat her almost in a similar like, you have to stay here and I'm going to protect you manner. Can you just sort of talk to me quickly about your character and sort of like, this show does have a very interesting, like, I'm sorry, I'm going off track. Can you just talk to me about like your character sort of in relation to that idea of women
certainly. I know for like, look, there's no good. Well, you were good, but not anymore. There's no good guys on the show. There's bad guys. There's worse guys. There's evil guys. And I think Kate, in her case, is the one shred of innocence. And I know for Seth, there's still a human being there. He operates very much like a lone wolf machine criminal. But for me, Maddie's character always represented his last shred of innocence, and you see it in moments where he tries to protect her, he tries to make sure she's okay, make sure that Richie doesn't do anything weird to her. So she was like the last shred of humanity that Seth had left. And you can tell that he wasn't a total degenerate because that anytime she was around, you would always see a spark of that.
I don't know. I think Freddie. I think he's kind of has a natural role of a protector anyway. He's a dad, he's a husband, and he's the law, you know what I mean? So he has a natural instinct to want to protect, and she called him for help. So he's already developed his own weapons, and he's kind of discovering more things about this world than from a different perspective.
We're talking about you
than Kate. But it's interesting the turn that they have because I think her evolution of her character throughout the season is pretty incredible as well. So I think she's going to surprise people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for answering.